What's up, everyone? Clearly, I am back on the East Coast. I don't have all of my stuff with me right now, but I did get a new mic, so I hope this sounds good, and I hope this setup looks good enough right now. Another thing I should point out, I got a new tattoo, and the cool thing is, I put this one in a spot that you guys should actually see, so you're going to be seeing this a lot from now on. All right, let's get into the reason why we're here right now. This is my review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The movie stars Simu Liu as the title character, Shang-Chi. He's doing his own thing in San Francisco with his best friend Katy, who's played by Awkwafina. They're very happy with their job parking cars, and they love doing karaoke together. The trouble is, the quiet, calm life does not last for Shang-Chi, and eventually he is forced to reconnect with his family, and that means reconnecting with his ability to fight. All right, I'm going to start with something that I highlighted in my social media reaction to the movie, and it's that the fight scenes in Shang-Chi are exceptional. They are true MCU standouts. And, due to some other recent releases, I've had this particular thing on my mind a lot lately. But in Shang-Chi, I was just so struck by how well that combat is edited. Just knowing when to let a piece of the fight play out in a single shot, but then cutting when necessary and making those cuts in a real natural manner. It's something that lets the choreography and the skills of the performers shine big time here. And on top of that, these sequences are beautiful. There's a dance-like quality to the stunt work here, and then the costume and the production design just pops so big. It simply looks beautiful, but also it always strengthens the atmosphere and the character work in the movie as well. I really would say that the fights in Shang-Chi are prime examples of all of the elements of the filmmaking process coming together in a way where one always enhances the other. This is also probably a good time to bring up how impressed I was by director Destin Daniel Cretton. He's been one of my favorite directors to watch ever since I first fell in love with his movie, Short Term 12, back in 2013. And yeah, I went into Shang-Chi having a whole lot of faith in him, but going from that movie, The Glass Castle, and Just Mercy to a big Marvel movie, that right there is a huge, huge leap. And I had never seen him direct an epic action sequence. But it turns out, not only does he have a real good handle on those bigger set pieces, but the attention to detail and the focus on character work that I love so much in those other films of his, that is present in Shang-Chi as well, and that winds up enhancing those set pieces quite a bit. Let's roll into the characters now. Simu Liu is great in this movie. He very much feels like the film's Rock, like a very capable hero who can truly save the day. But then I also really appreciated how his relationship with Katy kind of softens him just enough. Lets us see the sillier sides of him, the qualities that just felt so familiar to me and contributed big time to making this Marvel hero feel like a real person. And then with Awkwafina, it's like, with every film she's in, I become a bigger and bigger fan, and I also further realize that she truly does enhance everything that she's in. She enhances everything around her and the projects overall. Yes, Katy here does offer a good deal of comedic relief, something that I thought was really vital to the entertainment value of this movie. But she's also given the opportunity to show off some serious range as well. That character has a big, big heart and makes some really inspiring choices that hit me pretty hard. Another big winner in Shang-Chi is Tony Leung as Wenwu. I think he's got one of the greatest challenges in this movie, and I also think he absolutely crushes it. There's a significant rift between him and his children, and Wenwu makes some pretty awful decisions throughout the film, but Leung's performance makes sure that you always understand why he makes those choices. And that right there makes his arc especially powerful, and then, of course, increases how impactful the film overall is quite a bit. Now, I want to blab about Ben Kingsley's involvement here so badly right now, but I'll leave that one alone, and I'll just tell you that I really enjoyed how they worked him into this film. Now, for the story overall, It is a solid coming-of-age tale about the importance of reconciliation and accepting and embracing your past while also forging your own path forward. The first act of Shang-Chi flies. That part is just especially well-paced and well-constructed. There is a little lull that happens after the building fight that you see in the trailers for the film, and I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that that portion of the movie is the most exposition heavy. However, and what I'm about to say doesn't necessarily excuse pacing issues, but I was still able to appreciate that part of the film because that exposition is very, very valuable information that serves the rest of the story well. Those words are never wasted, but they do cause the middle of the movie to slow a bit, especially considering how well the material that happens before it just flies. But again, it does all come together, and it all comes together in a third act that takes some especially big and I would say even bonker swings with the mythology that we're learning about here. And man, I dug it a lot. It is adventurous and exhilarating, but it's also got some real dark and dangerous touches to it too. They were things that felt borderline horror movie-like to me, and probably no surprise here, but I liked that quality quite a bit. I am going to give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings 4 Deweys out of 5 on the Dewey Decimovie scale. I have a feeling you could probably tell by now. I think Shang-Chi is a great movie, all on its own. One that is just oozing with heart and vibrancy and culture. But then on top of that, I'm also a very big believer that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is going to make the MCU a stronger film franchise going forward. These characters and what they're capable of and what they stand for is something that I am very, very happy to have experienced in this one film. But then I am also so eager to learn more about them and to see how they wind up influencing the world of the MCU going forward, because I do think that this film series is very lucky to have them. So that's where I'm going to leave you, on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I know you're going to see this movie, so when that happens, you know what you got to do. You got to hit the comment section below, and you got to tell me what you think as well. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Before I wrap up this review, you know what we got to do. Patreon shoutouts. And I got my top tier group right here. They are Luke, Ian, Billy, Evan, Efren, and Justin. Yeah, those should all be very familiar names right about now, and they are all lovely individuals. So, guys, I cannot thank you enough for being part of this community and for continuing to support this channel that I love so much. To everybody else out there, big thanks for watching this review. Like and share it before you leave, and I'm going to have more coming your way very, very soon.